Commissioner Bauer.
Always great to see you, sir, and commend you for the work that you're doing. I don't want to invite you to get into an area of American foreign policy that you might not want to tread in, so forgive me if I'm making it uncomfortable, but Iran's been in the news a lot lately. And the thought struck me that in addition to all the other controversy, Iran is the only nation that I'm aware of that seems to have as an item of their reason for existence the promise of a second Holocaust. They're the only government that I'm aware of that regularly uses government resources to bring tens of thousands of people into the street to chant death to the Jews or death to Israel. And yet it seems to me that everything from corporations looking into where to invest or European countries trying to make trade deals, there's always a great deal of resistance about doing much about Iran. And isn't this the perfect example of how people give lip service to anti-Semitism, but they're not willing to ever call out a nation with some power and that's getting more powerful and that threatens to have a nuclear weapon someday, when anti-Semitism appears to be one of the core reasons they exist?
Well, Commissioner Bauer, thank you, and I couldn't agree with you more. Iran is not only the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism, it is the world's chief trafficker in anti-Semitism. Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, has pushed anti-Semitic dogma throughout the Middle East and throughout the Muslim world beyond the Middle East. And when one looks at violence against Jews in Western Europe, much of which comes from a radicalized Muslim community, you have to look back at Iran, that is responsible for so much anti-Semitic venom throughout the Arab world. And look, what happens in the Middle East doesn't stay in the Middle East. What happens in the Middle East directly affects the European street and in many cases the US college campus. Anti-Semitism isn't ancillary to the ideology of the Islamic Republic of Iran. It is a central, foundational component of the ideology of that regime. And we have to be clear about it, and we have to confront it and call it out for what it is. And, you know, I've been asking our friends around the world that, you know, how is it possible to talk about protecting Jews and to talk about fighting anti-Semitism when there's a refusal to designate Hezbollah a terrorist organization? I mean, if you're not willing to designate Hezbollah a terrorist organization, then protecting Jews seems to be a goal that is not being achieved. And so I thank you for your question and for shedding light on this. It's a critical component of what Iran is doing, and we've got to confront it.
Thank you, sir.